So let me ask you guys a question. When it comes to doing a project like this, or really any type of actual work on your home, what's the biggest thing you look for in a company?
Uh, Results.
Mhm.
Warranty.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just to tell you a little bit about us. It's our 20th year in business. We're American made, American owned, and American manufactured. Everything we do is done inside the United States. You may have heard of our sister company, Leaf Filter. Um, they do a lot of advertising on TV. I mean, at this point, Leaf Filter's got over 1 million satisfied customers nationwide and still growing. And that's the thing, in 20 years, we have grown to over 200 locations and still growing. And the crazy part about it is all of our locations are company owned and operated. We don't deal with franchises, we don't deal with franchisees. We don't need a franchisee messing with our name and messing with our reputation. Inc. 5000 has rated us one of the fastest growing companies in the country 20 years in a row. Most businesses like to brag and boast the minute they get mentioned by Inc. 5000. We have done it 20 years consecutively. HIP 200 has rated us the number one home improvement company in America when it comes to innovation, just always trying to find new ways to do things in the home to help people enhance their lives. We are a member of NARI, the National Association of Remodeling. In order to be a member of them, they hold you to the highest of standards. First and foremost, we have to maintain an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Not only do we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau, we actually have Leaf Filter on their home office in New York. They're also our customers. Super Service Award from Angie every single year, and that's just based on customer service, customer satisfaction. Believe it or not, people actually like us. The biggest thing about dealing with us, though, you're dealing with the manufacturer direct. All these other companies, everything always starts with a manufacturer. They make a product, they sell it to a distributor, who sells it to a wholesaler, who sells it to a contractor, who gets it to a subcontractor, it eventually gets to you. Well, what do you think happens every time the product changes hands?
Somebody gets paid.
It gets more expensive. What do you think you gain from it changing hands?
Higher price. Money.
Nothing. Not to mention, though, after everything gets installed, if you ever do have an issue, who do you call?
The number on the warranty.
Start the ladder backwards, I guess, right?
I will tell you, I've been doing this for over 20 years and I don't know how to answer that question. Because you can call the guy that sold it to you and he's going to say, hey, I didn't install this thing. You got to call the guy that installed it. You call the guy that installed it. Hey, I installed everything correctly. That's got to be a manufacturer defect. You got to call them. You call the manufacturer. Well, it was the guy that installed it, factory trained representative through us. Now you just have a circle of people pointing fingers at you. What people appreciate the most about dealing with us is you're dealing with one company. We make it, we ship it, we install it, and if there's ever an issue, well, there's only one place to point a finger. But even when you do take a look at like your DIY options, Home Depot, you can go pull a basic water softener off the shelf. It's $2,500. But how do you know whether or not that softener is the right size for your home? Do you think that a softener that's going to work with 2 people and 1 bathroom is going to be the same softener that works for 6 people and 5 bathrooms?
No.
Probably not. And then if you want to upgrade, you go to their mid-tier, and you can look all of this up on their website. It's right there. Their mid-tier, which is a water softener and a reverse osmosis, $4,500. Well, at least now you have soft water coming into the house and bottled water at the sink. But what's getting the chlorine out of the water? The body itself is a sponge. Every time you take a shower, you're absorbing those things into your skin. But if you go with their high end, the most expensive, best system you can get at Home Depot, which is a water softener, reverse osmosis, and an ozone machine, or an ozone to eliminate bacteria and things like that, $6,500. Now, if you compare that, though, with even Culligan, a softener from Culligan is going to range from $3,100 to $5,800. Now with Culligan, you can get into some of their carbon tanks, deal with some of the other issues like chlorine, iron, things like that, and that's going to be an additional $3,100 to $4,300. So right there, you're $7,000 to $9,000. You want to put in a hybrid unit, add another $4,600. You want to add in an RO, it's another $1,800 to $2,400. So these things can jump real quick from $4,500 to $6,500 to $8, $9, $10, $11, $12,000, just depending on the system. But I love using Home Depot as an example because so many people like to compare things to Home Depot. So I say, okay, if we look at Home Depot's whole house system for $6,500, would you say at best it's a good place to say it's average?
No, you don't want to be saying that. They're telling you it's the best. Well,
Is the installation price
It's Home
included?
Depot, yeah. But what do you think of when you think of the word average?
Same as every other.
Yes.
It's kind of middle of the road, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, anything you do is going to come with a quality, a warranty, and a service. So you figure average cost, average quality, average warranty, average service. And the reason I'm using this one is it's the only one where it actually says whole house. Now, also the thing about average is there's always 50% above and 50% below. I'll be the first one to tell you, you can absolutely find somebody to do this job for $32.50. But what do you think would happen to the quality, the warranty, and the service?
It's gone.
It's going to go down. I mean, at this point, you're literally buying a system off of Amazon, grabbing something offline or online, and finding someone to install it for you. It is what it is. At the same token, the same system could absolutely cost you as much as $13,000. Now, if you paid $13,000 for a system, then what would you expect out of the quality, the warranty, and the service?
best of
Should be
everything.
best.
You would demand it, right? And therein lies the problem. Because everybody always wants the top quality product with the best warranty and the best service, but nobody ever wants to pay more than an average price. If you could get the top quality product with the best warranty and the best service at about an average price, what would you call that?
Deal.
And that's the thing, what to expect from us. Everything we do is going to be done with white glove service. We promise to leave the area better than what we found it. We have the industry leading warranties. We have the longest warranties, the best warranties that are out there. We do state-of-the-art digital water testing. All of our competitors, they use reagents. They use little paper strips and things like that. Well, the thing about a reagent testing is I can skew those results. I can put a drop too much. I can put a drop too little. And I'm going to skew the results of what, because do you know how many drops I should be putting in?
No.
Me either. I don't use them. And then we offer 24-hour support. Because, Lord forbid you ever do have an issue in the middle of the night or something like that. We have a hotline. You can get us on the phone and we can help make sure that you're taken care of, because our number one priority is always going to be your safety. And these are just some of our customers with the different types of systems that we install. And these are just some of our real 5-star reviews off of Trustpilot. So how do we sound so far?
Sounds pretty
Good.
trusting.
Okay. So the first thing I want to do is what we call a TDS test. And that's total dissolved solids. And we're going to check your water and see how many total dissolved solids are in the water. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our spin touch test. This is going to break down through a true water analysis of what's going on in your home. We're going to set the tests up, and as they're running, while we're waiting on that, let's go over some of the common problems with water. One of the things we all deal with, regardless of where you're at in the country, is hard water. Culligan made their name 60 years ago selling water softeners. And hard water is what leads to clogged pipes, soap scum, faded laundry, scale damage, dry and brittle hair, and skin irritations. I don't know about y'all, but my wife, back in the day, she used to have what I would just call the hair montage on the wall of the shower. And a lot of that is being caused from hard water. But it also wreaks havoc upon appliances. Whether it's your Maytag, your water conditioner, not your water conditioner, but your air conditioning, your dishwasher, washer and dryer. You know, you replace a hot water heater, you get a 10-year warranty, and if it stops working in 5, you call for a warranty issue. The first thing they're going to do is come out and test the water, and if you have hard water, it voids the warranty. A lot of people don't know that. But then when it comes to disinfection chemicals, you know, chlorine is in the water for a reason. The municipalities are required to neutralize viruses and bacteria in the water. Now, can you guess why they use chlorine?
Cheap.
It's cheap. It's exactly the reason why. And what's funny is if you look at government studies, the government says that about a 0.5 or 50 gallons per million of chlorine is what is required to kill, or 0.05, I'm sorry, is what is required to kill viruses and bacteria in water. Unfortunately, we find levels at a lot higher than that. And when you have too much chlorine in the water, well, that's what leads to liver and kidney issues, anemia, increased risk of cancer, central nervous system issues, and it's especially prominent in young children and people with compromised immune systems. But not having enough chlorine in the water is even worse for you, because now you're open to microorganisms, cysts, viruses like Legionella, Salmonella, hepatitis A. And these are what leads to gastrointestinal illness, diarrhea, cramps, nausea, headaches. And again, it's really, really bad in young kids and people with compromised health issues. But then you also have, you know, the things like lead, arsenic, copper, cyanide, nitrate, nitrites. And these are your forever chemicals, your PFAs. These are what lead to increased cholesterol levels, delays in physical and mental development, high blood pressure, and liver and kidney problems. How many people do you know today that have high blood pressure?
A lot.
Freaking everybody, right? How many people do you know with high cholesterol?
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone's on medication. You go back 40 years ago, how many people had high blood pressure?
Yeah.
Hardly anyone. And you think about it, you go to the doctor, you get diagnosed with high blood pressure, you get diagnosed with high cholesterol, and what's one of the first things we all do?
Change the diet.
Yeah, we change our diet. How many people do you know that have changed their diet and they're still on medication because they haven't seen the results?
A lot.
Wouldn't you prefer to just know that high cholesterol and high blood pressure was a cause of the food that you're eating and not the water that you're drinking? So that's why we do the right type of testing to find out what's going on in the water so that we can put in the right systems to take care of those issues. So the next test we're going to do is going to be our manganese test. Now, we are the only company that tests for manganese, and we do it for 2 reasons. The first reason is manganese can be extremely toxic for your body. You know, what's funny about manganese is if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole, yeah, just start Googling manganese. You will find all kinds of stuff about it. At 0.05 manganese, it's actually pretty good for you. In fact, they use it to help treat dementia, Alzheimer's, and things like that. But once you get above 0.1 manganese, well, now it's toxic for you. And it's what leads to dementia and Alzheimer's. At 0.3 manganese, there is a national health advisory. They literally say at 0.3, do not drink the water. The second reason we test for manganese is manganese will stop a system from working correctly. So let me ask you a question. A company sells you a system, they don't test for manganese, and their system's not effective. Is that company really at fault? They didn't know it was there.
Right. Yeah.
We prefer to check the water so that we can make sure that we're putting in the right system to solve it. So while we're waiting on our manganese test, and that's the thing, you know, these systems, it's not even, the wrong evaluation leads to the wrong systems being installed. These aren't even bad systems. They just weren't paired with the right water problems to solve it. We remove systems like this on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if it's a well water system, a city water system, or if we're putting in reverse osmosis for drinking water. We want to make sure that we're going to put in the system that is tailored to your needs based off of what the water tells us needs to solve the problem. So when it comes to our systems, one of the biggest things that we do is we are going to install a high efficiency digital head that counts the gallons, and we use upflow regeneration. Now, the vast majority of our competition, their systems run on timers. And the problem with a timer is it's going to regenerate the same exact amount of salt every single week, regardless of usage. You have 10 people come over and stay a week with you, and you just quadrupled your water supply, it's still only going to regenerate the same amount. You go on vacation for 2 weeks, you're not even home, it's still going to regenerate the exact same amount. Our digital head is going to count the gallons. If you have 10 people over, it's going to increase it so that we make sure that everyone's getting the same quality water the whole time. You go on vacation for 2 weeks, it's going to not sit there and regenerate water that's not being used. But then the difference between upflow regeneration versus downflow regeneration. So you think about this, everything is inside of a tank and you have a media bed inside of there. All of our competitors use downflow regeneration, so the water flows down from the top, pushes through the media bed, and the media bed comes up around it and it cleans the water. Unfortunately, what happens over time is you end up with dirt and debris on the bottom, and you end up compacting that media bed. So when you get 12, 18 months in, you're now compacting the media bed and you're only getting about 25% of the clean that you were getting. So a year down the road, 2 years down the road, you're not getting the same type of clean that you were on day one. But that's also why these guys want to sell you a new system every 3 to 4 years. We use upflow regeneration. And what that means is we actually run a tube down to the bottom and we force our water out through the bottom up. So as it's coming up, it's lifting the media bed. It's cleaning the water. It's not allowing it to become compacted. So the same clean 8, 9, 10 years from now is the same clean that you're getting on day one. So our promise to you is just exceptional attention to detail. A promise to leave your space cleaner than what we found it, a dedication to customer service, and a strict set of best practices that are followed by every single installer, so that we can we will actually come out, bring all the equipment with us. We will drain and remove your existing system if you have one, and we will take it to the curb. We won't dispose of it. You will have to do that, but we will get it out and get it to the curb for you. We will install an emergency 3-way bypass valve. I don't know about you guys, but in a perfect world, you would never have any type of issues or anything like that. You guys live in a perfect world?
Nope.
Me either. And for me to sit here and try and tell you that we've never had an issue would just be an outright lie. So we want to take measures just to protect you from us. Let's say that, our system did have a problem, or you did have a leak or something. You give us a call. It might be 9 o'clock at night. We might not be able to get out there till the next day. We are going to install a 3-way bypass valve that all you have to do is turn 2 knobs. You bypass our system. You still have usable water so that you can still take a shower. You can still get ready in the morning. We'll be out the next day, make sure that whatever's taken care of is taken care of, but it does not affect your day-to-day life because, again, our utmost first concern is 1, your safety, and 2, your health, and making sure that we don't disrupt your normal way of life. We're going to program all of the equipment for high efficiency, and we'll fill the brine tank with pellets. So we will put 2 bags of salt into the brine tank. It's going to get you through about your first 2 to 3 months. But that's why we do the right tests, so that we can make sure that we install the right products. We use factory-trained installers, so it's installed the right way, and everything is backed by the right company. So our pledge is to offer clear, great-tasting, odor-free water. No more surface staining, softer skin and hair, brighter and softer laundry, spot-free dishes and glasses, protect your home's plumbing, extend the life of your appliances and water heater. We're going to save you on your utility bills, and there are no chemicals in anything that we're doing, and we're getting rid of waterborne contaminants. So when we take your test results and we take all of this information, we're going to enter it into our widget. Hey, we actually have a perfect system for you. So the widget is recommending our STO combo, our UV rack, and our reverse osmosis. Now, I want to be perfectly clear here. This right here, the STO by itself, is a whole house water filtration system. We have a lot of customers that enjoy the STO just by itself. It's going to give you soft, chlorine-free, safe, drinkable water through every spigot of your house. But our second level of protection is going to be the UV rack. And this is going to give you hospital-grade water. At hospitals, they have to run the water through a UV to make sure that they kill all the viruses and bacteria. And then our third level of defense is going to be a reverse osmosis. We use a true reverse osmosis. We use a patented membrane that allows for hyperfiltration. A lot of ROs that you can buy on Amazon, you can pull them off of the shelf at Home Depot. You've got all these different cartridges. A lot of times you're having to replace the cartridges every 3 to 4 months. Our RO will need to have an annual service just to replace the cartridges, but we try and get them rated to last you a full year before having to do anything with it. But then with that membrane that we use, we are getting out all the impurities to where we're offering clean, free, great tasting bottled water quality right at your kitchen sink. So let's talk about what's in our tanks. So our hard water solution, I want to be very clear about this. There is only one way to soften water, and that is through traditional ion exchange. So ion exchange, hard water flows through an ion exchange resin containing sodium, calcium, and magnesium ions. They bind to the resin beads, trading places with the sodium ions. This gives you soft water. Now, right now, we have a lot of customers calling us because they're seeing a lot of advertisements for salt-free alternatives. And I want to be very clear here. There is only one way to soften water, and that is through traditional ion exchange using salt. What you're seeing as a saltwater or a salt-free alternative is going to be a conditioner. A conditioner does not soften water. It is a descaler. So our descaling media, hard water flows through the media bed that transforms the calcium and magnesium ions so they cannot cling to the surface and damage plumbing and appliances. So calcium and magnesium are the two components that make up hard water, and they're really sticky. So as they're going through your pipes and coming out on your skin, they stick to everything. So what a descaler does is it actually changes the molecular structure of the calcium and magnesium to where it can no longer stick. One of the best examples I can think of is if I had a ball with spikes on it and I threw it at your head, well, it's stuck in your head. I take that same ball and I remove all the spikes from it and I throw it at your head. Well, it still hit you in the head. It just no longer stuck to you. So a conditioner is great if you don't have a drain, or if you just absolutely don't want to deal with salt, or you don't have too hard of water. But again, it's going to descale. So as you think about if you have scale buildup and things like that, it's going to descale those pipes. Well, water only flows in one direction. So as it's descaling your house, you may experience cloudy water until all the scale is out. The water's still safe to drink. It's still perfectly clean and fine. You're just going to be able to see it. And that could last a week, a month, 3 months. Nobody really knows. It just depends on how much scale buildup is in your home. But again, I have found anything I tell you before I sell it to you is a fact. Anything I try and tell you after I've sold it to you is an excuse. I don't like to make excuses. The best solution, though, for combating hard water is traditional ion exchange. And that's what's going to get you 50% less soaps and detergents when you're taking a shower. One of the first things I always tell people when they get a softener is take your soap and shampoo level and cut it in half. Cleaner dishes and glassware. Your clothing is going to wash cleaner and last longer. You think about cotton shirts today. They're faded out in no time and they have holes in them. We're going to extend the life of all of your appliances, and we eliminate costly damages caused by scale buildup. Then we get into our disinfection chemicals and byproduct solutions. So we use catalytic activated carbon. Now, the vast majority of our competitors use activated carbon. And activated carbon is great. It's going to remove about 70% of the chlorine and the chlorine byproducts. But like I always ask people, how much chlorine are you comfortable knowing you're ingesting?
Not much.
Yeah, I don't want to ingest any. Catalytic activated carbon removes 97 to 99% of chlorine. We're not allowed to say 100. So that's the difference. You know, all of our competitors, they use activated carbon. We use catalytic activated carbon because we want to get all of it out. And catalytic carbon goes a long way. 1 pound of catalytic activated carbon has the surface area of over 10 football fields. So 1 pound literally could cover 10 football fields. Now, all of our competitors use 1 to 5 pounds of activated carbon. In fact, our closest competitor uses 5 pounds of activated carbon. If you had to take a guess, how many pounds do you think we use of catalytic carbon?
15.
20 pounds. We use 20 pounds of catalytic carbon. And we do that because 20 pounds of catalytic carbon is rated to clean 1 million gallons of water. Now, if our closest competitor is using 5 pounds, how much water are they cleaning?
250,000.
Mm-hmm. Now, think about this. So 1 million gallons of water is going to last the average family of 10 years. So if they're using a quarter of the amount that we use, ours is rated to last 10 years. And how long is theirs going to last?
3, 4 years.
Hence the reason why these companies are often trying to sell you a new system every 3 to 4 years. Not only that, the companies that don't, they want you on maintenance plans, they want you on yearly maintenance, things like that. Even 10 years down the road, we don't have to sell you a system. We can come out on a service, we can repack the media, and you're good to go for another 10 years. We're not trying to sell you a system every time we talk to you. Our second line of defense is the UV rack. And the benefits of this is it's nearly instantaneous disinfection. It's a chemical-free process. It's low power consumption. It's environmentally friendly. It's easy maintenance, and you never have to worry about boil water advisories. A UV is 99.99% effective. So especially if you're in an area that's prone to main breaks and things like that, where you go into boil water advisories, you don't have to worry about it. That UV is going to zap the viruses, zap the bacteria. You know that your water is safe no matter what every time you drink it. And then our last line of defense is our reverse osmosis. Again, this is a true reverse osmosis. So our patented membrane provides hyperfiltration, only allowing a very minute particles, less than 0.001 microns, to pass through the filter. This is where you're getting better than bottled water on tap right at your kitchen sink. So this is perfect for drinking. It's perfect for cooking. It is just the safest you can possibly make a bottle of water. But it provides clean, safe drinking water and cooking water. You save money on bottled water. It flushes out all the pollutants, extends the life of the filter, significantly reduces contaminants, and it's a chemical-free process. So let me ask you guys a question. I mean, being that this is something you're going to get done, if not now, sometime in the near future, correct?
Yes.
You know, being that it's not a matter of if, but when, if I'm able to show you a way to save a lot of money, possibly work out a price or payment that fits into your budget, is there any reason other than the price or payment you wouldn't consider it while I'm here?
No.
Give me just a few minutes.